me, I'll do it, and because it knows better than me, and which is why I don't think like other people. But and also that I was not going to fight, not at 66. I'm too old. I'm pretty frail, and I think, I worked really hard to get a second season, and it's kind of ironic. I crossed time zones to do promotion for free for months, and during that time, when you're old and you can't sleep and you're crossing time zones, going from Hawaii to New York and back, and then back again and back again, I kind of became dependent on Ambien, and I, almost every night took it. And, obviously something was wrong because I didn't think, I thought that tweet was about a science fiction movie, which happens to be my favorite movie, and which I think is very apt in the world today, particularly in Iran, where just a small group of corrupt leaders are oppressing the citizens. And I think there's a lot of references in that movie that go along with what's happening in Iran, of the human beings rising up to overthrow their overlords. And that's how I was looking at the whole thing. So when I woke up to tweet there, that was what was in my head. It was certainly not somebody's looks. And it was also about the Arab Spring in Egypt, which Obama, he didn't handle it right. And so all those things are interrelated with Iran and the Iran deal, the Iran nuclear deal. I'm extremely well read on that subject. I certainly wouldn't be at the height of my power and my fame being on there going, oh, somebody looks like a monkey. Excuse me, I'm not an idiot, okay? I wouldn't be on there, you look like a monkey. I'm a well-read and intelligent woman, and my word and things that I write to people over in that part of the world, I've brought a lot of people together in that part of the world with my tweets. And most of my tweets are, spiritual in nature anyway. So it wasn't what people thought it was. And still, I apologize for inadvertently hurting anyone's feelings. Still, I apologize for inadvertently, and not, I apologize that they were wrong and they misheard it and misunderstood it, but that wasn't good enough either. And, just get to a point where I go, I'm letting go of it. My fans who know me and my family and people who like me and know me for my life, they know who I am, and that's all that matters. They can call me whatever they want. I don't accept their definition of that word, and I think that they should read more.
Well, one of the things that's most shocking about this outrage culture that we live in right now, this age of outrage, is that there's no path to redemption. There's no acceptance of apologies.
There is, though.
Yeah, but there's not from the general public.
Oh, yeah, the public, everywhere I went, people run up to me. I've never felt so much love in my entire career in real life.
But not on Twitter and not on Facebook.
Not on social media.
Right,
no.
Not on social media. Social media, it magnifies the very worst aspects of humanity because you're not interacting with people in the real flesh.
Right.
You're not experiencing social cues. You're not looking them in the eye. You're not seeing them as a person.
Yeah.
You're just seeing them as a target online.
Well, I think that Twitter is a purposeful plan, like Facebook. I got off Facebook years ago because I realized what they were doing.
What do you think Twitter's doing?
It's doing the same thing that Facebook did.
How so?
It's manufacturing consent. And, it's using bots to do it.
What do you mean by manufacturing consent?
It's
what way?
A place where, like Noam Chomsky says, the press manufactures consent, the consent of the governed. So that's what they're doing, is manufacturing the consent of the governed. But they also manufacture dissent. They control the opposition, too, on Twitter. And I like getting in between those two and causing a ruckus. because I knew it was all artificial intelligence anyway. It's all just to track us. We all know that, just like they do in China.
So what are you saying? You think there's some sort of a grand plan to get people to argue with each other?
Yeah, I think it's a social experiment to turn one group against another, which, it's smart because it's divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. And as long as we're as all these people getting robbed, all these taxpayers getting robbed, sitting there pointing to other taxpayers that are getting robbed and blaming them. But everybody needs to look upward of our government, ask for an audit of our taxes, and actually take responsibility for the things our country does. We're getting judged for it anyway.
I think there's certainly people that are capitalizing. I think there's certainly people that are capitalizing on all this chaos and all the conflict. But I don't think it's manufactured. I don't think it's engineered. I just think it's happening because this is a new thing. This ability to interact with each other. You think it just has a mind
of its own?
I think people have a mind of their own, and people are inherently tribal. There's almost no way to stop them from being tribal.
Well,
and they switch
I like
tribes.
that people are tribal.
But the problem with tribalism is that you sometimes have enemies that are unnecessary. So you develop this idea that you're a part of a group. Or you could have allies
on common ground.
Well, that would be nice if we all looked at ourselves as a tribal world.
That's how I do look at the world and why I didn't want her to. Her party is very much for the law, and the Republicans are very much and I am a tribal person, and I think graves, and that's what we do. That's what all indigenous people do. They want to control their sacred burial grounds, and that is anti-corporate law, and that's why I'm anti-corporate law. I like to study papal bulls and corporate law and maritime law and all that kind of stuff. I like to read, so I have a lot of information, and it makes me angry or sad is more it. That the work of an artist over 30 years, they think that we just pull that out of their ass and that they can copy it, without the artist. They can copy it.
You mean your show?
I do.
Yeah.
And it is, all the stuff I suffered in my life I put into that show. That show is about my family, my children. And it's just like, wow, it's so huge. It's so huge. It's beyond entitled.
But what are they going to? What is their plan? And how are they able to do that? Did you let them?
Yeah, I signed off. Why they asked me to?
Why'd you sign off?
Because I felt like I would be a huge hypocrite to have talked 30 years or more in my life about labor rights and the rights of working people if I took away those 200 people's jobs. So that's why I did it. I wanted them to work. I know how they had planned on another season, and they probably had already spent the money.
Was there any consideration of redemption? Was there any path where they could allow you to apologize or do something that would endear yourself to the people where they would accept your apology?
I offered that. I said, let me go on all your ABC shows and explain my tweet and how it was a political and not a racial tweet. And, that was denied me. It's like you can't say anything till you sign off.
You can't say anything until you sign off. So they wanted you to sign off the rights, and then they would have you do whatever you wanted to do, go on their interview shows.
No, they didn't guarantee that.
They didn't guarantee that. So they just wanted you to sign off, and they offered you nothing in return.
They offered me some money.
But the idea was just to be able to redo the show.
Yeah, to take all those years of my ideas and how I thought of 20 years of those situations to come back. It took me 20 years to figure out how would these characters, where would they be now? And I did that by living among regular and normal people for 20 years. I never lived behind, racially segregated gates like other stars. I lived in working people's neighborhoods, and I farm around farmers, and I wasn't going to be that big of a hypocrite.
Yeah, so you have a macadamia nut farm.
I sure do. It's gorgeous. You should come and see it sometime.
I'd love to come see it. I love the Big Island.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It's amazing.
People are dumb there, though, today. You know what I read? Some
What?
people. Some lady took a boat full of people too close to the volcano to
Oh,
look at it,
Jesus.
and the lava overtook their boat, and thank God none of them were killed. But they got like about 2 feet up on the lava.
Oh, Jesus
So don't
Christ.
do that, Hawaiians.
Don't do that. Somebody got hit with a
They got
flying
good
chunk
weed
of
there.
rock.
That's probably why.
It's pretty good weed.
Yeah.
They got hit by a flying chunk of rock from the volcano on one of the boats, too. They were having lava tourism, and someone got
Yeah.
clipped by a rock.
It's so not smart.
It's so stupid. It's a dangerous situation.
Dangerous. Shouldn't be. Don't go on those tours.
Is your area safe?
My
now?
area flooded a bit. I had to replace my roads for about the 10th time in 10 years. I always got to replace my roads. I really got into making roads. That's one thing that I really did enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'll be headed back there and be making more roads. So I'm excited about it. I can cut a road like nobody's business, Joe. I'm a hell of... I want to write a book. My granny is a scout. And because I do scout the jungle, and make a road in there.
I love the attitude of people that live on the Big Island. It's a very relaxed, laid-back, friendly attitude. They just have all the time in the world. It's a different sort of vibe when you go there.
Yeah, everybody helps their neighbors there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, turn them in,
Yeah. Well,
Everybody helps out their neighbors, and their neighbors are like every kind of people you can think of. It's very diverse cultural.
how'd you wind up living
Mecca.
out there?
Well, I went there because my son Buck, I made him go to the school out there. So then I bought a place right by the school because this kid, he's 23 now, so he probably won't get mad, but he had some severe ADHD there. So I had to do what I did to get him. Now he just graduated from college. He's doing real good.
Nice.
Yeah. He's my first college grad. Mm-hmm.
All right. ADHD, maybe he's a comic.
Yeah, he's so funny. Oh, my God. He's so hilarious.
Maybe he's a comic just
I
waiting.
think so.
Sure, it's in
All
his
my
DNA.
grandkids are, too. They're all
Yeah. That
waiting.
video that you showed me. Yeah.
They're all hilarious.
Yeah, they seem very funny. What are they going to do to your character on the show?
They're going to,
They're
well,
going to kill you off?
yeah, I think they did.
They didn't tell you?
No, they didn't tell me.
How
but
weird is it?
Some of my spies told me.
How weird is it they're taking you out of Roseanne? They're calling it the Connors. It's all going on without you being there. What does that feel like?
It's a mind warp and a mind fuck. So I'm just trying to deal
All from a
with it.
tweet.
Yeah. A misunderstood tweet.
A misunderstood tweet while you're on Ambien, while you're drunk, dealing
I
with...
wasn't drunk. I only had like 1 or 2 beers.
Well, when you have 1 or 2 beers with Ambien,
Yeah. I guess you're drunk.
you're fucked up.
I was. Yeah. I wasn't in.
And smoking
wasn't-
pot, too, right?
No, I don't think I'd smoked pot then.
Hmm.
No, I didn't smoke pot then. I was at my mom's house. I was puffing on the cigs. I went down in the basement. I was hiding down there in the basement because they were surrounding my mom's house, paparazzis and such. And so I was down in the basement, and that's where I always used to go when I was like 13. And I found this stuff and chalk on the walls of the basement there that I remembered right when I was 13.
Wow.
And then I found an old butt from when I snuck cigs when I was 13.
Did you try to smoke it?
Oh, hell yeah, it smelled good. No, I'm kidding. But I was hiding down there smoking. And they were knocking on my mom's door, and I was like, oh, my God. So my boyfriend got the door. He's like a big man, He's like, may I help you? That's my man character. And I thought they were going to, say something. And they're like, please tell Roseanne we love her. And, we don't like this and blah, blah. And that was happening all the time. And that's when I was like, geez, I've never, ever felt this kind of affection from people in all my career. So it's kind of a cool thing.
Well, that's the thing. There's the social media outrage, And then there's the people in real life that feel terrible for you because they feel like you got a raw deal.
Yeah, they think that there are so many double standards of people who said things on the air. Remember, I just said it to a small population, less than 600,000 people on Twitter. But these people say things on the air, and they are not. Well, I know Joy had to call Pence and apologize. So
yeah, what did Joy Behar say about Pence that was so bad? Something about his Christian faith.
Yeah, that they're psychotic or something because they.
So she called him and apologized? Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I heard. You know, an apology with your network behind you really works. Like with what's her name that called Ivanka the names? I can't remember.
Oh, Samantha Bee?
Yeah. And her network was behind her. And that was far more offensive. And it was on the air. And but when your network is not behind you, you don't really. And they weren't.
Well, it wasn't
not
a
behind
racial
me.
thing. The thing about
they didn't want me to tweet. The whole truth is, I told them I wasn't going to tweet, and you know I promised them over and over. And although they never sent it in writing, which was required, but anyway, they called my publicist and unloaded on him all the time. And you know, I should have stayed off Twitter. I did it to myself, and. You know, I made a mistake, and the ball kept rolling.
But it's just crazy that this, what I think is an insignificant mistake, especially in light of your apology, could lead to no redemption possible.
Yeah.
That no redemption possible, that this giant fucking hit show. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Connors, but I think it's going to fail. If you asked me, if I had some money to bet, if I was in Vegas, that shit ain't going to work. How are you going to do Roseanne without Roseanne? If you wanted to have a whole new sitcom with all those people with a totally unrelated storyline, that's one thing. But you don't think America's going to know that they killed you off? Like, what the fuck is that? And now, with time and consideration, after time has passed and people can review everything, they're going to go, is it really this bad? And they're going to think about their own lives. Like, what about me? What if I say something fucked up? Just fucking around.
They should do that.
What if I take Ambien and accidentally say something crazy and don't even remember saying it, and then it's misconstrued or it comes out wrong? Is that going to ruin my whole life? Like, how can you have someone ruin their whole life for something that is misconstrued?
That they did
doesn't
at
make
17
any sense.
also. You know, really? I mean, that's why I think, first of all, us women, we need to do a better job of raising our sons. And but at 17, everyone's out of their friggin' mind. I have 5 kids. There's not a one of them who didn't do something horrendous at age 17.
Well, we were just talking about that with Andrew Santino, who was in here earlier. That when young men, especially young men that don't get a birds and the bees speech, and who knows what the fuck is going on in their home, you know, people do stupid shit. Yeah.
My son that went to college, Buck, he says. He learned the day he started college, they gave out this pamphlet on sexual assault to all the boys. I guess they gave it to the girls, too. But he said he read it, and he realized it was any kind of sexuality at all don't even do it. And I told both my sons, you got to if you're going to have sex with somebody, you make them sign a consent form and take it to their lawyer and get it properly notarized, and then make a date for after that happens.
Even that's not good enough.
It's a dangerous time for our sons and our daughters.
Well, it's always a dangerous time for women, right? If you're with the wrong man.
Well, or the wrong woman. Are you shitting me? Women are just as horrible as men.
Well, women are horrible with women, too. There's one of the statistics on
women.
Sexual assault and rape amongst lesbian couples. It's pretty bad.
But, I mean, what about rape in the prisons? I mean, nobody talks about that. That's the real rape culture where men are learning, you know. It's terrible.
Well, yeah. Well, we can get into depth about how bad prisons are in general and how people aren't redeemed.
I watched that Orange is the New Black, so I know.
I've never seen it.
It's great. Oh, my God. It's great.
But the problem with, there's no rehabilitation. I mean, it's very, very
There's
little,
no forgiveness.
In prisons, what you're doing is you take people and you make them better criminals, or make them more hardened criminals. You surround them with other criminals. You give them a horrible living environment.
You abuse them further, because most prisoners are in there because they're abused children.
Well, and what percentage of prisoners are in there for nonviolent drug offenses?
That's what really drives me crazy.
It's fucking insane.
That's when I ran for president. I ran on legalization of marijuana for that exact reason.
Well, slowly but surely, that's becoming a mainstream idea.
I'm glad.
I'm glad, too. I mean, as a rabid pot user, I love it. I think marijuana it makes you a more sensitive, aware person. It definitely makes you paranoid, but I think that paranoia allows you to understand all the danger in the world that you're probably ignoring.
Yeah,
your own mortality.
I was with Marge, once I started smoking pot, then I got real paranoid of people, and that was a good thing.
Yeah.
You should be paranoid of people.
You should be aware, for sure.
Particularly if you watch cable TV, for Christ's sake. That ID channel with all those.
What are you doing now? Like, what are you going to do now? You were saying that you have some other things cooking.
I got 20,000 ideas a day.
Why don't you do something like this?
I got to focus into something.
Why don't you do this? Like something like this. So easy.
I
So
thought
open
about
form.
it, but you said you'd help me.
I will help
I just
you.
can't. I don't know how to write in a fucking password and turn this shit on.
Listen, you don't need that. We can get you connected to someone who can do that for you. That shit's easy.
I'd like to talk to other people who've fallen from grace and see how they get back up. But the real truth of it is that there is redemption. There is, and there's moving on, and there's like stopping the fight, and there's like, for me it was, I realized they're not my family.
Right.
My real family is, a joy to me. And so I got a great real family. I raised 2 good sons. And, of course, I want them protected from crazy women. For crying out loud. I over-modulate their dating lives. I know.
Do you? Do you filter them?
Yeah, you have to.
How old are your sons?
One's 40.
If my mom
ruined
came to
his
me when I
one
was
marriage.
40, tried to filter my dating life, I'd be like, Mom, I love you.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's because your mom ain't me.
That's true.
Because I go, no, this is, we can't have no bitches up in here. That's what he says to me. He goes,
Does he have a Russian accent?
yeah.
Can you do it?
Oh, I can't do it. I'd try. Well, here's what he said to me. No, in this family, it's a bad. I know in this family, we do what the papa says. We don't do what the grandma says.
Oh.
I go, bitch, are you new? I go, okay, well, if you want to live a cursed life, go ahead. Live a fucking cursed life.
Put that voodoo on him.
Yep. I put that judo. Yeah, he's come around though. I knew he would because they have a son, and he has ADHD too, and but he's brilliant, and as all are my grandkids. And anyway, so they're those libtard. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Libtards?
No,
Yeah.
you can't say that. I'm
Can't say
sorry.
that anymore?
No, you're not to say that. I forgot because I'm old. I mix them up.
Who says you're not to say that?
Everybody says you don't say the T word.
Oh.
So
As long as you don't have a re before it, I think you're allowed to say it.
no, I don't say it
Okay.
in public. But no, I don't say it. But anyway, so the kid, he's bouncing off the walls too, like all my kids were. So I know how to deal with it.
Right.
I said, just leave him over here with me. I'll take care of it. So I did.
What'd you do with him? Just get him active.
Yeah, you get him active.
Get him doing stuff.
Exactly. I go, I bet you $100 you can't run up and down that hill 10 times in a row.
Ah, perfect.
See?
Yeah.
Got to keep boys tired.
Yeah. I guarantee I have ADHD. I have all those things.
Yeah, you probably do.
You just do stuff. Just burn it
Do
out.
stuff, yeah.
Burn it out, and then you can be calm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think those kids just have a lot of fuel.
I do
They
too.
have a lot of horsepower and a lot of fuel, and it's all misdirected. And then
Yeah,
they can't
because they
sit
get
still.
in with the girl, and she start telling them what to do. See, I'm telling you. Once they get under the control of a female, see, they forget themselves.
Yeah.
Girls do it too.
Sure, they're getting into control of the wrong guy.
Yeah, you got to not get in control of nobody.
Of anybody, right?
Yeah.
That's the key.
Autonomy and what do they call it? Sovereignty. You got to
Yes.
keep that.
Find somebody who doesn't control you.
Right.
Just accepts you.
Let you be.
Yeah.
Don't make you shower.
Yeah.
No, they have to make them shower. Oh my God.
Well, you should at least suggest it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a nice way.
Yeah, you should let them know. Yeah. What the fuck is going on with your smell, son?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
come from a weird line of women that like that man smell.
Oh.
It was gross.
That
My mom,
primal
she used
smell.
to always go over and sniff under my dad's armpits. It
Whoa.
was so gross. No wonder I'm like I am.
Mm.
You know.
So when you were
She'd
in
go,
this...
"Oh, Tarzan."
Oh, she likes monkey smell.
Don't say that word.
Monkey? It's a
Yeah.
white guy. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
You call white people monkeys.
My dad was real dark.
How dark?
He was brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it'd be problematic.
Yeah. She was real fair skinned.
Mm.
My mom, so I've learned a thing or two, Joe.
I hear you.
But to me, all people look like some kind. I mean, I didn't say anything about Valerie Jarrett, but on the subject, I think people resemble animals a lot.
Well, we are animals.
Well, yeah, we are animals.
Yeah.
Like, I think I look like a beaver. When I look at my pictures, don't you think I look like a beaver? Or a cat?
More like a cat.
Yeah, I can see myself as a cat.
More of a cat, I think, than
Yeah.
a beaver.
My kids think I'm real cat-like.
Yes.
Yeah. My boyfriend says sloth. Because I just lay there in bed watching the ID channel and murders and such.
Jesus Christ.
Serial
Why do you
killer
watch those
shows.
fucking things?
Oh, my God, because I love how this character is put together. You know, writing characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just, like, I like the forensics thing.
Right.
When they put shit together, you know, and they go, our perp is a... Our perp is a 40-year-old white man that lives with his mother, and he's probably was in the Navy. You know, all that. Zodiac killer.
Right.
I love all that. I would have done that if I wasn't a comic genius.
I think the real problem with that, though, is that the more you study that shit, the more you live in that world, the less happiness you're going to find. I've talked to guys that...
What world?
The world of serial killers. The
You
world
mean
of
studying it
the
or
actual
reading
people
about it?
the actual people that investigate those people.
Oh, yeah.
They have a real hard time with life. They have a real hard time because they know too much. They know too much about the
Did you watch that
darkest
show
nature.
Mindhunter?
I didn't watch that one, no.
Oh,
I heard
that's
it's really
about
good.
John Douglas, yeah.
I've seen so many of those shows. I've read books on serial killers. And I've known cops that investigated stuff like this.
Well, after I had that thing with Marge, I got really into it, like, oh, my God.
But you realize there's some people out there they have a dark mind.
Yeah,
And
they do.
They're capable of some fucked up shit.
Yeah, they are.
And if you're around that all the time, I just think your appreciation for it's one thing to know that it exists and it's a real, but it's another thing to let that enter into your view of the world and have it
Right.
in there as a standard kind of behavior.
I guess it's wrong to do that, but, you know, nothing else interests me.
Why is it interesting to you so much? Just because it's such a
I like
bizarre aberration?
I like how they get away with it, and they're like, "Oh, he was the nicest guy."
Yeah.
How their front, you know.
Well, the Golden State Killer, right? You know, that
Which
one that
one's
they
that?
that's the guy that was it, what he was called? The Golden State Killer
they just got?
caught? Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking guy got away with it forever. Patton Oswalt's wife, who died of a drug overdose, was actually investigating that.
She died of a drug. I thought
She died from fentanyl.
Oh, everyone's dying from that.
Everyone's
Prince,
dying from that shit.
Everybody's dying
Yeah.
from that.
I mean,
Where can I get some? It must be good if
that's what the Connors are trying to get you.
I don't know what
package will
they're
come in
going
the
to
mail.
do. I don't want to say nothing negative
How about
towards
they bring
it.
you back? You'll be like, you could be like from beyond the grave. You could give advice to people on the show. That'd be a great way they can kill you off and bring you back at the same
as a
time.
ghost.
Yeah, a ghost. You come to John Goodman in the middle of the night. What the fuck are you talking about? And
Yeah, you'd
give
think
'em
they
advice.
could come up with something better than just
killing you off.
yeah,
it's very
than just
unoriginal.
letting it go.
Well, I think
I mean, they do have these movies about robots and other worlds.
they don't want to be connected with a racist.
I
but
know.
you're not a racist.
I
That's
know.
what's so fucking stupid about this. They had a #1 show, a great sitcom. It returns. It's even better. I mean, it's just as good, if not better, than it was when it first
Thank
came
you.
out.
I think it was a bit better, too.
It was great.
Thank you. Well, that was all I was meant to do. So, I did it. I did it #1 after 20 years.
Well,
9
what about
episodes.
doing stand-up again?
I'm doing stand-up. I'm touring next year.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
bitches. I'm really, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And by then, my gag order will be over.
You have a gag order? Mm-hmm. How's
Of
that work?
sorts.
Can you talk about the gag order, or is that a part of the gag order?
It's a part
Let's
of
be
the
careful.
gag order that I
Yeah.
can't talk about.
Well, we
the
don't need to
gag
talk about
order.
it. Let's just talk about the
don't
positive
wanna-
stuff. Let's talk
I
about the
wish
stand-up.
everybody. I just want to say I wish everybody the best. I wish well for everyone on Earth. That's all I'm going to say.
When are you going to do stand-up?
Next year, 2019.
Where are you going to do it?
I can't remember what they said.
How
It's
you-
in the Midwest, all across the Midwest.
Are you writing already? Are you performing at all? I mean, are you?
I'm writing.
You're just writing?
Yeah.
And how are you going to do it? Are you going to start out at clubs? Are you going to?
I'm
What
going
are
to
you
do
gonna do?
theaters, casinos.
Do you have a framework of what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, I'm going to
yeah?
talk about raising good sons and all that entails.
Are you going to bring someone with you on the road to warm up, or?
I probably should. I don't know. I was kind of saying I wanted to co-headline too. I thought to co-headline with Monique would be a blast.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, me and her talked about it, and that'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, anybody. Just
Yeah, just to get out there again and tell
Yeah.
my jokes. I really like hearing people laugh.
that'd be a great thing for you too.
Yeah,
just
it'll make
do
me
it live
feel better.
again.
Yeah, do it
How
live.
long has it been since you've done stand-up?
Oh, I did it just before, In fact, I think that's why I got so run down. I got so run down when this whole thing. I was so run down at that point that I had no B vitamins in my body.
How's it even possible?
Well, I mean, it was at a really low level.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor said, that can cause psychosis. So that's why I go, okay. That's what happened to me, really. I was getting way out there in Salt Lake City, Utah. Anyway, after I did do stand up all through Canada, and then I ended up in New York doing promo for Roseanne, and I just got too run down. I didn't watch myself and do what I should have done for my physical health.
Well, this time around, let's get you sorted out. Let's get you on some vitamins and
Okay.
get you a nutritionist and get somebody who's gonna, do some blood work on you and make sure everything's okay.
I get blood work done. I go to the cancer center at whatever that hospital's called over there.
Yeah, that's good. But
I always have to have infusions every 3 months because I don't absorb minerals or
what do you mean?
vitamins.
What do you mean you don't absorb them?
Yeah, I had this gastric bypass about 25 so years ago.
Oh.
And I can't absorb minerals or vitamins.
Fuck.
And so I have to go get infusions every, when I get too down. And like I said, I was promoting the Roseanne show and also doing some touring in Canada.
Winding road seemed to mark the time. The love I had, mine, now gone. Will you return? I know you will. Until then.
Bitch, don't you want to start making some real fucking money? Well, you were made for the playground, bitch. You should be out there working. Don't you want a new lunchbox? Nice new coat? I can get all that for you, bitch. Well, all I'm saying, the bitch should be out there working is all. What you doing, bitch? Just giving kisses to stand for free? You should be making some motherfucking money. All these bitches are kissing fellers, and they haven't figured out that they can be making some serious fucking money.
True.
From range. It happens.
through it.
I'll get straight to the point. I found marijuana in the house. And while I never thought of myself as the type of father who'd have to drug test his kids, I'm willing to do just that if that's what it takes to find out who brought a joint into this house.
Dad, Lucy found something too.
Dad, I found a joint in Mom's dresser drawer.
Oops.
Turn the music up in this motherfucker.
This goes out to all my peoples down in the Weak Way section. And all my peoples in the Hooterville section.